Yo, chat, what's up? How's everyone doing? I know, you missed me, but I'm here. Whoa, what's with the color contrast on this webcam? Let's fix that real quick. Or did it fix by itself? Hold up, let's try this. Nah, that's blown out. That color is blown out. Let's try to remove that filter. Looks better now. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode. And I know I wasn't here all last week. I just randomly decided to take a vacation. I just needed some time off, man. Needed some time off from streaming, time off from the market. Also spent that time, I got distracted over here. I found a little toy on my desk to play with. My ADD kicked in. But no, you know, take some time off from streaming, take some time off from the stock market. But what I found was a whole different market to lose myself into. So the whole last week, honestly, I've been playing with prediction markets. I'm up about like 15-20% from where my account started. I was up a lot more, but gave back a ton of profits. But really, the only reason I'm up on the prediction markets is because I got lucky. But it's something very interesting, very intriguing, and has been taking a lot of my attention away from the stock market, sadly, which probably is not the best thing because the stock market is my staple. That's where I gotta go to. But the prediction markets are very, very interesting. It's almost like a whole new puzzle that I want to crack. And I want to figure it out, and just watching people making ridiculous money off of opinions. And you guys, if you guys have watched me since Trader TV Live, if you watch me after Trader TV Live, you guys know how opinionated I am. I have a lot of opinions, and if there's a market that's, you know, is gonna pay me for having these opinions, I think I found the place to be at, right? Prediction markets. Not that it's going to replace stock market completely, but it's just another supplement. Just another, if you think about it as a part-time job, right? Think of it as working at McDonald's. If you're even able to pull in an hour or two and make about 15 bucks an hour, 20 bucks an hour, just kind of sitting on Polymarket, that's basically a second job right there, right? So just kind of looking at it as a second job, and the stock market as my first job, Obviously, the goal is to make a lot more than 15, 25 bucks in a day on there. But right now, that's where we're kind of playing with, and eventually I want to see what it opens up to. I kind of talked about it with you guys previously on the last few streams. That was maybe, you know, a year ago based on how long I took away from the stream now. But no, we're gonna talk more about those. Let's see if the music's too loud. Let me bring down the music for you guys. But yeah, I want to talk more about prediction markets today. See how things in politics, things in the stock market are playing out. But you guys are here for the stock market content, so obviously we're gonna go through a lot of the stocks that I've prepared for today. Most of the hot movers on the day, some of the movers that have been moving recently that are going back up again. Maybe you have an idea what those stocks are, and also the large cap, the Mag 7, which we always love taking a look at. Little hint over there. AMD. If you're reading the title, if you're watching the stream, then obviously you know the hint. But yeah, AMD ripping to all-time high. Sadly rejecting from all-time high, but still ripping to all-time high with the partnership with OpenAI. So lots to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the full screen over here and show you guys what's in store today. I need to refresh this earnings calendar. This is still the old earnings calendar, so let me just quickly go over here, type in earnings whisper, go here, and then we open up this bad boy, and then we can close this link. So this is your earnings calendar for the coming week up ahead. Tonight we do have STZ Constellation Brands that reported earnings. Let me also throw this in my Discord server for this week's earnings calendar. Okay, there you go. So STZ is supposed to report today. If you were watching it on Polymarket was expecting a 56% probability that STZ actually beats their earnings report. So if you were looking at that, you would have been correct by going long on the stock today, because what did the stock do? It actually did beat earnings report, and the stock did start charging back up to the north side over here. Initially down day today overall, but later on after hours up 3.5%, basically going back into the day's high, a little bit above day's high, into 145 or so. But overall positive reaction. This is just the start of what people could use Polymarket and prediction markets to aid in their trading. And as you guys can see over here, I'm up about $20 or so on a $100 account. So I'm starting small, starting easy, starting small. I'm trying to understand the ecosystem, trying to see how things play out. A couple things that I could possibly show you over here that are not stock market related are, for example, you know, the Hamas deal that was supposed to happen very soon. They're expecting the Hamas ceasefire. So based on that, as soon as I heard the call, or not the call, the Twitter notification started hitting my phone, I was like, oh wait, this could be a real thing. If this is a real thing, there's some money to be made here. So I instantly bought some shares at 24 cents, 27 cents, 27 cents, 40 cents, 40 cents, 56 cents. Then I took out half of my size at 62. Then I bought back again at 61 cents, looking for the position to keep going higher. And you can see how the bid is right now at 62. My average price is at 40. I'm up 50% on this position at the moment, and it is basically placing a bet on news cycles, placing a bet on catalysts, and playing out to see if it's actually going to go in that direction, meaning we are going to go in the direction of peace, not war. Israel and Hamas are actually going to play nice, and Trump maybe ends up getting that Nobel Peace Prize. And actually, if you go look at Nobel Peace Prize winner probability over here, Trump is actually only expected to win about 3% now. He was expected to win 5% yesterday, but now he's only expected to win 3% probability. That's also because the announcement comes out today at Friday, October 10th. So that's the reason why people are saying, you know what, he hasn't done anything yet worthy to him get a Nobel Peace Prize, and the chances are that the ceasefire doesn't happen before October 10th. So people people are now buying more and more of the No. That's why No is selling for 96.9 cents. Basically, you can get a free 3-4% by betting on No if you believe that Trump is not going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. But what you could also do is on October 10th, you can wait patiently to see who they actually announce as the Nobel Peace Prize winner, and when they do announce it, you can try to buy up the yes on that person or organization. For example, Sudan Emergency Response. These are the people who recently sent boats to Gaza. And when they win, quickly try to buy up at 27 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. You're basically buying $1 for 40 cents, right? That's an awesome bet. You're going to double up your money very quickly because the rumor is not a rumor anymore. It's actually a real catalyst. It's truth. The news came out and you're able to ride this position up to the north side. You'll possibly even see some insiders coming in and buying up some positions before these actually end up playing out. So just Polymarket, a completely new venue where it's crazy to see what's happening at the moment over here. For example, tonight you can bet on what Taylor Swift will say at the Tonight Show. I'm guessing that's what Jimmy Kimmel. I think that's what Jimmy Fallon. So what will Taylor Swift say during Jimmy Fallon? Will she say Travis Kelce 3 times? Either Travis, either Kelce, whatever she says. If she says 3 times, then as soon as you hear it, you start buying up yes on the 46 cents and just send this position to the upside. You'll instantly see this position going up to like 100% and resolving. So just these kinds of things are crazy to see play out at the moment. I'm losing myself in this market. It's good to see some profits rolling in. Right now, that there are more losses than profits coming in today, sadly. I was up like 20 something, but now today I'm down like $6. I was up like 50% on this position here, but that position pulled back on me. There seems to be some manipulation happening in this market, so I might be bagged on here. I might have to get out for break even or for a tiny loss. So basically take a very, very tiny loss or get out for break even, but we'll see what happens. Apparently this person has some insider information. Ooh, so good insider information that they actually ended up losing on this insider information the last time they bet on. So, I'm kind of doubting who this insider is. But if you just go and look into that bet a little bit more, you'll see that somebody has been buying up that position today, right when the market took it higher. I was up 50% on that position, but someone named Tiger Lion Zebra has never traded anything else before. And their first trade, I guess they have traded the OpenAI social app in 2005. They ended up winning that one because the Sora 2 came out, obviously. And now the only other bet they're betting on is, will they announce a browser in October? And they have placed down about $11,000 bet on this market, buying up the position around 39 cents and then buying up another position around 60 cents. So pretty much this type of activity is insider activity, and generally you don't want to be against this, and that's kind of where I am placed right now. I would have loved to take some profits when I was in the money, but I was too busy arguing with people on Discord, and that's rule number 1, right? Never take screenshots first, take profits first, then screenshots. Sadly, I was doing the opposite of that. Wah, wah, wah. We'll see if this Hamas position ends up being profitable for us, or if this Grokpedia. We got a couple other positions over here. The Sora position I actually called out to a bunch of people, and people hopefully cashed out on this one. And I think it's still a very good opportunity on this one right now. It's actually trading lower than where my average price is, which is weird because not too long ago this was trading at a much higher price, but now it's coming down. Maybe some opportunity to buy the dip, because I do believe Sora will still be the top app until October 15th, and the probability for that is going down quite a bit. All right, enough poly market. Let's go to the stock market, which is what you guys are here for. Let's bring in the earnings screen. Here's what the earnings have to say. Today there's only one stock, STZ, so let's quickly read about it. They were expected to they were expected to report 3.4 something on poly market, but the Benzinga estimates 3.38, so they did beat that. 3.63 was the report. However, this is a 15-point decrease of earnings from same period last year. So they decreased on the EPS from same period last year, but they still beat, however, on the estimate. Company reported quarterly sales of 2.48 billion, which beat the estimates of 2.49. This is a 15% decrease in sales from same period last year. People are not drinking alcohol as much as they used to. I mean, I guess I should have known that, because I have not been drinking alcohol as much as I used to. That's also because I now work from home and I don't work from an office and so on. But also, I've never been big into, alcohol. I'll drink alcohol if I'm with friends. I don't really care to get drunk if I'm by myself, unless there's like a UFC event or something. Then yeah, maybe I'll grab a drink by myself and I'll watch a UFC or something. But besides that, I'm not really that interested in, like, grabbing a beer and then sitting down and watching sports like how the old school dads used to, right? So and I know a lot of friends in the same realm as that. People are not into alcohol as much as they used to be. And STZ, I guess you can see the numbers over here already playing out, even though they did beat estimates year to year, not growing, so not looking good over there. However, what is their full year guidance, which is something I forgot to check. So full year guidance is lowered. Lower full year 2026 guidance to 1077 to 11. From 1077 to 11, which was the previous range, to 986 to 1016. So quite a bit of a drop over there versus the estimates of 1135. So dropping. Here's the full report if you're interested, that just came out. Anything else on the forecast? The company continues to expect 2026 operation cash flow 2.5 to 2.6. Okay. I mean, overall, market reacted in the positive way, but if you look at the stock in a bigger picture, we're far below the 200-day moving average, right? So the stock is still struggling. It's trying to curve back up over here. You could call this some sort of a mini cup and handle. Handle about to form over here once we go a little sideways, and then when you take the break out of the handle, so basically 145, if we're able to stay above 143 to 145, and it looks like it's about to break out above 145, that's a good enough setup over there to look for the long. And you can see how right now kind of playing out between that range, right? Earnings VWAP 142.73, 143, and the earnings high 145. So as long as the stock is playing in that range, I think. Wait, why is this still open? Close this. As long as the stock is playing in that range, I think it's worth looking for a long tomorrow. It's also possible the stock opens above 145 in pre-market, at which point it's just a no-brainer long. Wait for dips. If buyers are holding above 145, they're holding 146, they're holding 145.50, they're holding 145. Whatever price above 145 they're able to defend, if the stock is already above that in pre-market, it's just that much of a better setup for you to go long on this name. That's what you want to see if you want to go long. Okay, so 145, I'll put 143 here as a support level for now, and we'll see how the stock sets up in pre-market. Sadly, that's all she wrote in the watch list for the earnings calendar. Pre-market, McCormick, I mean, unless you really care about the cinnamon and spice seller, I don't think there's anything here to watch for. AEHR, if I remember correctly, that was a drone company. Is this a drone company? I forget. Where does AEHR go in? Is that finance? No, right? No, it's not in my drone sector. I can't remember where this one goes to. AEHR Test Systems, anyways, that's their full name. Had been on a little bit of a run up. I mean, most stocks have been. QQQ is at all-time high, so obviously most stocks have been on a run up right now. If you are holding any position in your long-term account that is not going up, do yourself a favor and cut that position. Burn that position. When the market is going through all-time highs and you have any position out there that is not pushing to the all-time highs, or not all-time highs, but not pushing higher than where it was at least at the start of the year, you need to kill that position, put a bullet through the head, and go find more positions or different positions to park your money in. Not the ones that have been parabolic, not the RGTIs and IonQs. I'm not saying that they can't go higher, but they've been a little parabolic already. But you need to go find other positions to put your money in if these names that you're in haven't gone up yet, okay? Just a little note for you guys out there who are holding these names. Quick little shout out to the chat. What the hell? Okay, yeah. Quick little shout out to the chat. We got Damien, we got TH. How's everyone doing? As I recall, you vape. I used to, not anymore. I used to vape a lot, but I stopped buying vapes. That way I don't vape, but I do something close to vaping that's not vaping. If you catch my drift. Let's see if there's any comments on Kick or on Twitter. Sorry, on Twitch. Nope, no chats over there. Pump Fun having some messages. Are these real messages on Pump Fun? No, looks like I'm just getting bot spammed on Pump Fun, which is great. I love seeing that over there. And then anything on Twitter? Yes, we do have messages on Twitter. We got our good friend Angry Buddha in the house. This is super interesting. Instead of trying to find stocks that get affected by news events, you can trade the event itself. Yes, exactly. I mean, I can't remember. If you're a stock market trader who trades breaking news, for example, SPRB is a great example of a stock that ripped up today on breaking news. If you go to pre-market, Pharma Bro, Martin Shkreli, anytime he mentions a name, the smartest thing you can do is go along that name, especially if it's a pharmaceutical name. Martin Shkreli says SPRB can easily go to $500. This stock started at $8. It was some pharmaceutical catalyst. I don't know what it is, right? Pharmaceutical catalyst and breaking news, right? You can see how the stock comes up and has a breaking news and just goes absolutely parabolic up 1,000% in a day. What are we talking about over here, right? So if you're a breaking news trader, there hasn't been a better environment for you to start exploring than Polymarket. I mean, I'm just gonna have to keep coming back and show you guys examples over here. So let's go to who will be the next Japan Prime Minister. No one was expecting this lady over here to be the Japanese Prime Minister. She was at a probability of 16.5%. If you are American, chances are you're not going to be able to trade the Japanese election by going and buying Japanese futures or Japanese stocks at late night, because A, you don't have access to Japan market, or B, you just don't know how to do it, right? Pump Fun having some messages. Are these real messages on Pump Fun? No. What am I hearing myself on? I can double myself in the background. Oh, Twitter audio is kind of playing over here. But if you kind of knew that this was happening, then what you could have done is just wait for the news to come out and then instantly buy this girl, yes on this girl, Sanae Takaichi. If you bought the yes on her at 40 cents on the dollar, you could have absolutely printed, and you can see how much volume is being traded on this at the moment. Almost $1 million traded on this, right? And there were actually other people who were expected to win. I think Yuichiro Takama was expected to win. No, who was it? Kobayashi was the top one. No, not Kobayashi. Were you the top one? Forget who it was. Oh, this guy. Right. Koizumi. I'm probably butchering these names, I apologize. But you can see how this guy was expected to win with 81% probability, and in fact, before the news even came out, this position started going higher because some people knew the results of the election before the news even came out, and then once the news came out, this just started skyrocketing. Another great example that comes out, Lecronu. Another great example was this Lecronu. Yesterday, overnight, Lecronu announces that he's going to create his own party, I think, or something along those words. And this position goes from, you can see how 11% to 50% probability. I'm watching it and I'm going, you know what? I don't know anything about politics. More importantly, I don't know jack shit about French politics. So I'm just going to stay away from this. But then when I'm reading all these comments over here, I also open up Perplexity and I go translate all the French for me. And then Perplexity instantly translates all the French for me and it tells me, oh, they're talking about how he's going to probably resign soon. Ha ha ha, I told you. Oh, he just announced the new party for himself. And I was like, oh, this could be something. And this is trading around 50% after starting at 11%. That means you could have bought $1 for 11 cents on the dollar. And then you could have bought $1 for 50 cents on the dollar. And then overnight news comes out that, hey, he is actually dropping out. He's no longer the prime minister for France. And then, boom, 100% instantly locked in. And anyone who bought it on this way up, it does, just look smart as hell, right? They look genius for being able to do that. So if you're a news cycle trader and you're not exploring the poly market sections yet, I think you're just making yourself a big mistake over there by not doing so. Is there any way I could give you guys a referral code? Because I want to be able to onboard people and make some money doing it. But you guys know me. I love onboarding people onto stuff that I'm enthusiastic about, even if they don't give me a single dollar. I've done this for what? Perplexity. I've done this for almost every single thing out there that I'm enthusiastic about. I just love sharing information with you guys. So go check it out, man. If you're a breaking news catalyst trader, you're making a mistake not exploring that venue, that platform. Volume is only going to grow on that platform going forward. Liquidity is only going to get better. And right now there is no fees on there. That's the best part. No fees at all. Zero fees. Just trade away. Go crazy. Obviously, don't gamble. Don't gamble. There's a lot of ways to gamble on there. Don't gamble. Pick a niche, pick a product that you know. For example, I picked AI, I picked technology, and those are my best winners. That's where my most profits have been completely. Give me a second. This might be an important call. Was not an important call. It was a scam call there. Alright, let's go down the watch list over here for the rest of the stock. Since we don't have any more earnings names to talk about, let's go through some of the hot movers on the day. Since we already mentioned SPRB, let's talk about it. So quickly go back to this one over here. Go to X, pull up Martin Shkreli, and see exactly what he said. Martin, what did you say, Martin? Pharma, bro, what did you say? Where is it? Long SPRB, my price target is 500. Rare disease is my specialty. The ERT, don't know what that means, for San Filippo will be approved CMC notwithstanding and be the new standard of care. I'll be honest, I understood 0% of what he said. What did Pharma bro say here? Please explain to me like 5, or I could just type in Eli 5. Eli 5, which means explain like I'm 5 years old. Eli 5, let's see what Pharma Bro is saying he's very bullish on the stock. I mean, I understood that. I understood also price target 500. I understood that he also owns the stock. Yes, we got that part. What's this part? He believes he's an expert at picking companies that make drugs for rare diseases. I mean, that's not believe, that's fact. ERT is what? A new standard of care. Enzyme replacement therapy is a type of drug treatment. He thinks treatment for, oh, that's a disease. Okay, will be approved despite potential manufacturing issues. Gotcha. With FDA procedure hurdle, he believes that the drug will become the main new standard way to treat this disease. Okay, I'll be honest. I thought San Filippo was a drug name. I didn't know it was a disease. See, that's why using tools like AI to help you understand some things that you have no clue about is a great idea. Basically, he's gambling. I love it. I wouldn't say that, AI, because it's the Pharma Bro. He knows exactly what he's doing. Okay. All right. So Pharma Bro calling out a stock. The last stock he called out, QURE, was a great buy for me. I was long somewhere in the 46s, and I basically sold it today. Completely sold it today, I think. Actually, no, I still have 20% of my position, and I'm looking to see how this position bounces off the moving average. Sadly, I did not know about SPRB until I started preparing for today's stream. So, had I known about SPRB, I would have potentially told my dad to buy some and bought some myself. What an absolute blunder over there. Spruce Bioscience is absolutely ripping, and for sure worth keeping an eye on for the next few days. You can see how today's midpoint is somewhere around $100. That just makes my life so much easier. Above 100, look long. Below 100, don't look long, because you might have to fight some trapped buyers. Anyone who's been buying in this area, if the stock doesn't hold $100, they might sell for some losses, which might bring the stock back to the downside. So I generally don't want to be bullish below that price point. So I'm going to put it in the inflection level 100 and just watch that price point, see how it reacts. And since that's today's midpoint, I'm guessing that's where today's VWAP also ends. No, today's VWAP is actually at $33. It's still down there, I guess, because that's where most of the volume accumulated. You can see how much sideways action we traded before it started going parabolic. That's basically because you had a lot of short sellers in this area. If you actually go to Twitter right now and just go search for SPRB on Twitter, you will see a lot of degenerate short sellers. And I'm sorry I used that word. Some of these guys are actually my friends. But you would be an idiot to fade Pharma Bro. Why would you fade Pharma Bro? And sorry, Niv Goran, I actually like this guy a lot. I respect him quite a bit, and seeing him be down 20k it hurts. But you know, all you had to do was not short Pharma Bro. All you had to do was go long Pharma Bro, and you'll see some people actually did go long. They ended up making a ton of money, and a lot of people who actually were short, they ended up blowing up their accounts. $71,000 over here blown up. You're seeing some other people also get blown up. The smart people actually took advantage of the short sellers who were sitting in front of the train. If you are shorting the stock over here when it's just trading sideways all day, doing nothing, holding above VWAP, didn't capitulate after the pre-market move, and off the open volume died off, and you're shorting in this area, you're asking for a beating. You're just simply gambling and you're asking for a beating. So any short seller got absolutely ripped their face apart, and the longs printed. This is a textbook long breakout pattern when it breaks this day's high. I'm not sure if you would have even gotten filled. Yeah, you probably would not have gotten filled, because it halts at 42 and then it opens at 50s and then it halts again and then it opens at 90. So you're not getting filled on the breakout a high a day. But if you just simply go long around VWAP over here, once volume picks back up, your stop was very limited. Your stop is $30. You're going long 35, 40. Your stop is basically $10 per share. Your reward is way more than $10 per share. So SPRB was the clear winner of the day today. I heard some of my friends talking about Open Door, and I know Open Door basically, wow, look at this stock. I closed my open door position for a loss, but right now with this action, with how it's holding the 21-day moving average, with how it's reclaiming the 9-day moving average again and getting back above the 930, 950 area, this is basically getting ready for round 2 for the blast off. This would be round 1, and now you can see how previously it did this sideways action of the 21-day moving average right over here. Once it's done doing the sideways action, you're gonna get that blast off most likely again. So might be worth keeping an eye on open door over here. The resistance area is around 11, but the inflection is basically $9, and the clear support right now at the moment is around $7.80 to $8, which is where the 21-day moving average is. Potentially worth keeping an eye out for a swing trading, and also for a day trade. If you see the stock pull back and show support above 9, that could give you some moves into today's high around 950, or maybe even that move to $11 over the next few days. So keep an eye out for open door coming forward. RR, boy oh boy, this is where I should have added, but I didn't. That's also because I was distracted away from the market by another stupid market, and honestly, I gave up on a lot of profits by not buying more shares. I'm still long RR, don't get me wrong. I'm still holding my position. I'm still long, but I could have added to my position over here, which I didn't. Love watching this name blast off to the upside. Give me another 50% blast off over here, RR. Get all the way up to this position to $10 or more. That'd be amazing. But as for a day trade, as for a swing trade, there's really nothing for me to talk about right now. Had I been live last week for you guys, I would have mentioned there was a long in this area, but since I wasn't, I'm sorry that you guys missed out on this opportunity. RR is now to the moon. I think my dad still owns RR, but sadly my dad does not own RGTI anymore. I own basically like less than 10% of RGTI now. I closed most of my size, and this is why you trail to moving averages. You trim in strength and you trail to moving averages, and I trailed to the moving average. I didn't get stopped out on my last 5-10% that I have left on RGTI, and here it is still blasting off. Nothing to do at the moment. They're kind of going crazy, but Ion Cube just breaking all-time high, potentially worth keeping an eye on over here. QBTS and QUBT are the two other names that you could look to open up some exposure, as these have been lagging to the overall quantum rally, and now they're catching up. But I don't really like to buy stocks that are playing catch up. I rather be in the names that are creating the rally themselves, because when the stocks that are creating the rally pull back, the ones that are playing catch up really get destroyed. So I don't want to be stuck in these names. These are more so just to watch for a quick hit and run, not for like a real size swing trade. So QUBT, QBTS, the other drone names that are on the watch list, other quantum names that are on the watch list. I want to talk about a drone name that completely got out of hand, and boy oh boy, what a miss. You guys have heard me talk about this name on the last earnings report, AVAV, where I actually made some profits, some sideways action, and what the hell happened over here that this stock started going off on this type of a trajectory. So absolutely crazy north side at the moment. Low liquidity for a $400, $300 name, you know, trades less than 2 million shares on a 30-day average. So very low liquidity for a $400 name. That means it's going to be spready. It's going to be a little bit more wide. You know, just play it slow. Don't play momentum. Play swing, intraday swing if you are day trading it. But this is more so important for a possible parabolic short coming into play. It's not there yet. Let it keep going higher a little bit more. Let the first red day setup come into play, and then we can take advantage of it. But this stock is actually going to potentially help us out on other drone names, other stocks in the drone sector out there. For example, Red Cat today up 13%. Red Cat has been a little bit of a pain on the breakouts over here, but finally joining the party. They had announced that they're going to do a stock offering around this area. That stock offering news got absorbed very quickly, and that led to no more downside. And you can see how Red Cat now breaking out, pushing into, I want to say, no, not all-time highs. They did get a lot of splits before, but pushing into previous resistances, which is basically a ride that I wanted to join, that I wasn't able to. Boy, I really screwed up by not looking at the market recently. Look at these moves now. ACHR going to a nice triple top opportunity. UMAC is the one that I have in my swing account, so that's the one that I was going to talk about. But ACHR, beautiful triple top at $14. Potentially a breakout above that $14 for an extension move up north. I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but because of how big of a move the last few days were. But if we do see that happening, actually the stock is already above that in pre-market. We are 5% above today's close in the after hours. It's trading at 14.42 over here. Oh wow, what a move. Today was a monster move. 17% move today on ACHR. UAVS, another drone name here, and then UMAC is the one that I'm involved in, and sadly that one's down 1.4%. The only drone name today that's not doing so well in my whole watch list of stocks. However, I'm long somewhere down here, so I'm up 50% in my position. I'm not even upset. It just sucks to see that my name's the only one that's not blasting off today, compared to the other ones, which are all up 15, 20%. ACHR, very interesting. Keep an eye on that $14 area tomorrow. If the stock is able to find support above 14 on dips, that's going to be an opportunity to look long, okay? Good opportunity to look long over there. What isn't going up, says Damien. And Damien, you're right. What isn't going up is... Nah, I'm joking. I always stay up, baby. I always stay bricked up. Come on, man. What do you think this is? I'm not 60 years old. I'm not dealing with those issues just yet, okay? We're not dealing with those issues just yet. Okay. But what isn't actually going up is my Polymarket account. My Polymarket account was at one point $140, and now it's only at $125, which is very sad because that means I'm losing money. Look at this stupid bet over here, huh? $5 to win, $40 if Andrew Cuomo wins the New York mayoral election. We'll see if that plays out. I'm up 10% right now on that, which is basically... I'm up $5 on this? Wait, no. What? Oh no, the value is 508. I'm up 50 cents on it. Gotcha. That makes more sense. I was like, how does that make any sense? That makes no sense. I'm just stupid at reading these charts. Anyways, going back down the watch list over here for the stock market, ALAB, ANAT, some of the recent hot flyers are all coming down at the moment. They're all cooling off their jets. Oracle is giving you that gap fill slowly but steadily. Has been going down, but if you look at it, it's actually bouncing off right now from the 21-day moving average. You can call this candle right here, that green candle, the undercut and rally of the 21-day moving average, and then these three candles over here, the undercut and rally above the 9-day moving average. So if the stock is able to get back above today's high, 295, 296 tomorrow, I think you're going to see a move back into 300 coming in very soon again, because of the news today that played out from AMD. This is not a small cap stock, guys. This is a large cap name. AMD trading 240 million shares on the day and going up 23%, going up all the way into its all-time high and then rejecting perfectly clean off of its all-time high. Things like this, this can't be scripted, right? You can see how basically pre-market high is all-time high, really struggled to get above the all-time high, and then just all day fade right off the open. You could have basically shorted this a weakness over here, or the breakdown below 221 and put a stop above the pre-market high, and then just ridden the stock to the downside all day. Anyways, that's not the short setup that I want to talk about tomorrow. Did AMD actually close at the lows? Wow, that's crazy. Closing at the lows is not generally the best thing that you want to see, but the news over here is OpenAI is now potentially taking a 10% stake in AMD. That's crazy. So if you think about it, OpenAI is running probably one of the biggest AI Ponzi scheme that we have seen in the current day. However, they actually have actual products that work and you can use, so there's proof to the concept. But you can't tell me this is not a Ponzi scheme. They take money from Oracle, they take money from Nvidia, they reinvest in Nvidia, they reinvest in Oracle, and then they use this money to buy AMD, and all of a sudden, and somehow throughout this whole process, by the way, somehow OpenAI is still a non-profit company throughout all of this. While they're investing in AMD, while Nvidia and Oracle are giving each other $300 billion handshakes, somehow OpenAI throughout the whole thing over here is still non-profit. What are we talking about over here, man? The technology loophole? Guys, if there is simple answer. Start an AI company. You don't have to do anything. For example, Cluely. Cluely is a company that's absolutely clueless about what their platform even does, but they have millions of dollars raised. Okay, so just we're in a bubble, but the bubble's gonna get much bigger. Just keep enjoying until the party stops. Like I think one of the best things I've read recently in my Discord groups that I'm in, one of my friends said, keep dancing until the music stops. And then I replied, the music doesn't stop when the DJ's name, what did I say? And the music don't stop when the person on the deck's name is DJ Trump, right? So I know you had to be there. Me saying it right now doesn't hit the mark. It just doesn't hit the punchline. But basically, don't stop until the music stops, right? Keep dancing until the music stops. And when the musician's name is DJ Trump, I don't think the music's gonna stop for another 4 years. So just keep enjoying the bubble. I think there was also this post that in Google, it's now the highest searches since 2008. And the searches help me with my mortgage, right? So bubbles form around these type of situations, but I think there's a lot more room for the bubble. There's another quote that goes, this quote goes, far more money has been lost on expecting the top and expecting a correction than the correction itself. So don't worry about betting on the top. Don't worry about betting on a correction. Just manage your positions, take profits and strengths, trail to the moving averages, and enjoy the ride. When the ride stops, get off. Go take a break. Go. You can also join the short side if you know how to. But when the ride stops, go take a break, go take a breather, enjoy the ride, and come back when the ride starts again later. Very simple. It's that in-between part where people get trapped. Oh, I gotta call the top now that I called the bottom. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. No, your job is to make money, not to call anything. Your job is to make money. Apply proper setups when they show up and put in the risk where it deserves, okay? Put in the risk where it deserves. You see how addicted I am to this? I can't stop opening this. Okay, let's go back to the charts over here. I want to talk about a couple of stocks. So AMD, 200 will be pretty important tomorrow. Ideally, you don't want to see the stock below 200. If you bought the name today above 200, Would you like to see the stock below 200? Probably not, right? So you want to see at least 200 being defended tomorrow at the bottom dollar. If 200 doesn't get defended, then I think there's going to be some possible leakage coming into AMD. Once you see strength around 200, I think that's your opportunity to start looking long on this name. For sure, a high priority name tomorrow. I'm not expecting 200 million shares traded tomorrow also, but pretty high priority name. So we're going to give it purple. Some stocks that I haven't looked at all. SMCI. Where is SMCI? Ooh, look at that, man. Nice hold of the 200-day moving average. We were talking about this on the day of this day, on this day. So if you bought it on this day, look, awesome return since then. And people were worried that semiconductors and the AI bubble was gonna pop. Market doesn't look bearish when semiconductor is taking out all-time highs. When XLF is at all-time highs, market doesn't go bearish, okay? So SMCI at the 200-day moving average was a great spot to snag up some shares. And shout out to anyone who did it. Potentially an inverse bouncy ball. Higher lows, higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. And then now we're getting some sort of a lower lows at the moment, but lower highs and higher lows and lower highs. So basically a pizza slice, a wedge pattern, and then potentially a very good resolution to the wedge pattern for a name that was honestly the king of the AI sector for a time period. So maybe play some catch up over there. SMCI worth keeping an eye on. I know Robinhood has been making some leaps and bounds now without me. I got stopped out around the $100 area on Robinhood. So yeah, look at this name. I'm okay with my stop. The stock got below the 50-day moving average and it got below the $100 area. So I said I'm okay with that stop. But what I could have done is obviously gotten back into it when it did the undercut and rally. And they've been announcing a lot of new things recently. They're going to be allowing you to short stocks. That means more money for Robinhood. They're going to allow you to short stocks. They're gonna open up a social media platform and a bunch of other things. So people like what Robinhood is doing, and Robinhood obviously just straight to the upside since then. I also know that Palantir has taken a little bit of a nosedive over here, but yeah, not really that big of an issue. Still above the 50-day moving average, and honestly, just trading sideways. If you ask me, this move shouldn't make you be worried about your position. You're only worried about this position if you're long 180, right? I'm talking like this because my dad keeps mentioning about how Palantir is weak. I mean, this is irrelevant. Palantir is still above its 50-day, and look at the chart. This is not a weak chart. This is still a very strong chart. Talk to me when it's below its 200-day, right? So anyone who is probably bagged over here thinks that this is a weak move. I would say that the reaction to the all-time high push was, yeah, weak. You have a seller here, but we're still above a lot of the major key moving averages, and the market's still at goddamn all-time highs. So just be patient. This if anything is a dip buy opportunity, because you don't have to risk a lot. You can put your stop basically a little bit below the Bollinger Band over here, which is around $160, and buy the dips. Put your stop below 160, and if it breaks 160, boo-hoo, take a loss, move on. But if it doesn't break 160, you got an option to see if the stock can go back into 190 and then keep going above 190. That's if you don't think the stock is A, overextended, B, overvalued, C, absolutely nuts, and so on. So a couple other caveats that you got to throw in this name if you're looking at it for the swing trade. I personally am not looking at it for the swing trade. I think there's way better setups. You guys got to look at the market in a different lens too. Yeah, this is a good setup, but there's better setups out there. There's some stocks that haven't started their run yet. There's some sectors that haven't even caught up yet. The space sector. Speaking about the space sector, here's a name that I was involved in that went absolutely batshit crazy. The stock is now up. How much from when I bought it? I bought it over here. The stock is now up 300% from when I bought it. Sadly, I'm no longer involved in this name. I made about 80-90% on this position, and then on this earnings report, they blasted off. There was a setup. It's called the delayed high volume close, which means you would have gone long somewhere around $9 over here. I didn't. I made that mistake. That would have been another 40-50% gain for me. But the sky sector, the space sector, BKSY, I think is Black Sky. I keep thinking about Blue Sky. Wow, look at this move, right? Black Sky, RKLB, Rocket Labs. Like all these stocks are going, and that's a good breakout right there on Rocket Lab right now. So Rocket Lab, these are stocks that are still very much close to their recent moving averages. They're not ridiculously overvalued like Palantir in terms of PE ratio. Maybe Arcalab could be in the ridiculously over because they don't even make money, for God's sakes. But these sectors are I think deserve some attention more than the same 5 names that everyone's been watching since the start of the AI boom. So make sure that you are doing justice for yourself, taking profits on strength and relocating that money into new setups, into new sectors, into new themes. Another theme right now that's very popular is the mineral theme. LAC was one of them. You can buy LAC on the Canadian market or on the American market. LAC was one of them. The other one was Caramel. I call it Caramel. CRML, was it? Critical metals, yeah, Caramel, CRML, Greenland. I think this is a Greenland company, and Trump said he's going to invest in Greenland. So CRML here was a pretty big blast off of that catalyst. Same thing as LAC. So keep an eye out for the mineral catalyst. MP is another mineral name that recently blew up on that catalyst, and so on. Just make sure that you're relocating your money after making some profits. Like I made money on RGTI. I was long, what, 18, 15? I'm up 100% on this name. Doesn't mean that I keep buying more of these shares when these shares are so damn extended from the 200-day moving average. I can go and buy UMAC, which is what I did. I could have gone and bought RCAT, which is not what I did, but AEHR was it? No, ACHR. I'm gonna watch ACHR for a move above $14, and if it stays above $14, so stock market is still in a euphoric state. NNE, energy names. Another electrical energy, yeah, NNE, energy name. Look at this one breaking out. Is this the same as OKLO? NNE, OKLO, SMR. Those were the 3 names, right? Good sideways base for a very long time. Look at that base breaking out and now blasting off to the side, to the upside. OKLO was the other nuclear energy name. SMR, another nuclear energy name. Rotate the money. Rotate the money. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to sit there and keep complaining about why isn't Tesla going higher? Why isn't Google going any higher? Like, bro, this stock just went from, like, what more do you want from this stock? You know, now you're gonna possibly buy AMD and be like, why isn't AMD going through all-time high? This stock just made a 30% gap up. What more do you want from this stock in day 2 and day 3 and week 2? Like, give it some time. You just made some money. Take those profits. I'm not saying close your position completely. Take some profits. Reallocate that money into other sectors. Right now, Bitcoin, for example, breaking all-time high. What a crazy run up on Bitcoin. That means MSTR is moving higher. That means Coinbase is moving. I can't even type, for God's sake. Coinbase is moving higher. Riot is moving higher. MARA is moving higher. Even these, well, I guess Riot and Hut 8 were all moving higher earlier, and now that cryptocurrencies are moving even more, you're gonna see these stocks probably go parabolic even more. So just keep an eye on how wild the market is at the moment, and guess what? Things will get even more wild. They will get irrational longer than you can be solvent. So don't try to catch the top. Just trail your positions to the moving averages, your wins, and then just cut the losers. Don't try to bag hold losers and pray to God that your loser becomes a profit. Especially if your stock is below the 200-day moving average. Even more so if your stock hasn't gone in the profitable direction from the starting of the year. the market fell from the start of the year and then bounced. But if your stock fell from the start of the year and hasn't bounced, kill it. Put a bullet through its head, take it to the back of the shed, put a bullet through it, and find another stock to put your money in, because that stock is not going to work for you. Make your money work for you. Don't sit on the side of the bed and pray for it to work. Okay, make it work for you. Let's wrap it up with one final name over here. AppLovin, making a big move down over here in the after hours on the news that the SEC will be probing them. So nice little downside move, not even after hours actually, intraday, big move intraday on the news catalyst that the SEC will be probing them. And this is what I mean by news traders. If you're a news catalyst trader, you look for these type of moves. If you're a Lance, if you're some of the big money traders out there, these are the stocks that you want to look for. And what's actually very, very interesting right now is look at how this white VWAP, that white dotted VWAP is previous earnings VWAP. And you can see how the previous earnings anchored VWAP is where it actually found a bottom at. That is very interesting. If you look at things like that play out, it's almost like voodoo science, right? It doesn't have to play out like that. It never has to play out like that. But just because it does, it just makes me even more interested. It's like, okay, does that mean that the previous buyer who bought at the previous earnings and even around here, obviously they are the same buyer because they supported the bottom, or maybe it doesn't have to be, but in just the way my brain wraps around it, buyer coming in, holding their average price, buying even more, and then just creating this beautiful rally. And then on this pullback, you can see how maybe their buy program is still active. Their buy program is now defending that area, bounce right off of it. Or it could also just simply be that somebody is using that anchored VWAP as a target, and they're saying, hey, I made enough money, let me take my profits off of here. And this is not a buyer. This is a short covering. This is shorts taking profits. And also some shorts probably taking losses because they chased their position. So shorts taking profits, and then some more shorts re-entering back in, and never really the buyer from the previous VWAP buying again. So a couple ways to look at the scenario. The only thing that matters now for me is how does the stock react to this area, this after hour low, this anchored VWAP area. And also if you pull back to the daily level, you can see how the stock happens to be right before it started the systematic upside move. It was that low right there. This breakout and that low was where it started the whole systematic move to the upside. So if that level gets respected tomorrow, there could be some nice longs off of that area that are worth watching. So today's after hour low 550, I believe. Yeah, 550. 545 to 550, and then you have 535, 536 area to keep an eye out for. So 535, 536, and then I'm gonna put inflection level 545 to 550 as an important zone to see how the stock reacts in that zone. Very much possible that we trade in this area tomorrow, and then we break down from that, which could give you a big trade on that breakdown. A lot of people have been praying for AppLovin's downfall. We'll see if they end up getting profitable off that. Right over here was a big opportunity. There was a short report on this move on AppLovin. It pulled back to the 200-day moving average, and it successfully held above it, and now you're basically getting scenario repeat number 2, right? Scenario repeat number 2. Now watch for it to get below 50-day moving average. Watch for it to get below the other important moving averages, and then move back into the 200-day, and then we'll see how it reacts to the 200-day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically all she wrote. A couple other final things to talk about. Before we go there, let me actually go to the YouTube chat and see if there's anyone in the YouTube chat that I'm missing out. We got Soze. What's up, Soze? Michael, Prad, which Bitcoin miners do you like? I'm not into miners. I'm sorry. Like I just don't swing that way. I'm not Epstein. You know, I like people my age, people who are older. Bitcoin majors. I like Bitcoin majors. A Bitcoin major will be, you know, IBIT, Mara. Anyways, all jokes aside, you know, I didn't even talk about IBIT. IBIT is a great way to expose yourself to, probably should not be using miners and expose in the same word, same sentence. A good way to put your money into the stock market without having to directly trade cryptocurrencies if you are interested, which is IBIT. The ones that I am looking at, Michael, are honestly, I'll look at all of them. There's no specific one that I like more than the other. Mara has been lagged quite a bit because they are not actually involved in the AI sector as much as the other ones. So if you care about a bigger oomph of a move, the stocks that have already been making a move, like RIOT, HUT, there's other crypto miners like crypto stocks over here, BKKT, SBT, BMNR. These are not crypto miners, but these are, oh wow, BMNR looks sexy. Oh my god, might have to be involved in BMNR over here. BMNR looks sexy. So watching BMNR, nice little breakout over on that one too. Oh god damn it. Every time I buy BMNR though, I get stopped out because it gets below the 21-day moving average, and then it does something like this where it traps me and it makes me want to be in this name. God damn, I hate this name so much. SBET is another one that's worth watching, and in fact SBET very close to its 200-day moving average, so maybe a little bit more worth it. If you draw the trend line on this one too, it will be not as similar, but the idea is there. So watching this one, there's other cryptocurrency stocks that you can also watch, such as what was this company called? What was XYZ called before? Not Block, Squarespace. Squarespace, XYZ. Very, very clean base after a recent news. I think was it their earnings report or some sort of a news. It's very good, clean sideways base over here, following past that news and holding above the 200-day moving average. In terms of miners though, I think the main ones are RIOT, MARA, HU8, Squarespace, Block. That was the name of XYZ. Let's quickly go to the Fed watch because we do have an FOMC meeting this month. I believe it is on the 22nd of September, 29th of October. So that's almost at the end of October. Okay, quite a bit of a way for the FOMC meeting. So I guess I didn't have to talk about it just yet. But wait, that's not even today. Oh, okay, that is. Okay, we're good. Currently, they're actually expecting a 4% probability or 5% probability of no rate cut. That is pretty fancy. And if you actually think about it, you know, it makes sense. PayPal is basically offering you cash back on money loans. What? Just listen to what I said again. Cash back on loans. What does that even mean, bro? What are you talking about, PayPal? But talking about PayPal though, that's a stock that I was mentioning to my father today. PayPal, with their infinite money glitch and their recent partnership with Google, only looking better. Now they're actually breaking out above my alert. My alert has been going off non-stop on PayPal today. You can see how all of these alerts were just PayPal. Right, all of them were just PayPal non-stop, and this is interesting because now I used to actually own PayPal at $119 and I had to take a loss on this, disclaimer, but now they're looking much better. The Google news, they're getting ready to possibly reclaim the 200-day moving average, and this infinite money glitch that they're offering to people. We'll see how that will play out. Hopefully PayPal is not woke still, because you go woke, you go broke. That's been written in stone. So we'll see how that one play out. And the point of why I was bringing up PayPal is because, you know, PayPal is offering these crazy deals and people think the Fed needs to cut rates. When you literally have a firm, buy now, pay later companies and PayPal's going out there and giving you crazy deals, Fed rate cuts should be out of the picture. Like keep the interest rates where they are, because we get rate cuts, we're gonna get even more crazy things out there in the market, and then the bubble just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the recession is just even more a topic in question that we don't want to be having. We don't want to be using the R word over here, okay? This stream is anti-R word, so that's something that we want to be careful for. However, I'm not an economics major. To be honest, I'm a major in nothing. I'm major in video gaming, so I'm good at that. So I'm not an econ major. I'll keep my opinions to myself, and I'll keep my opinions to my stream and to my 3-4 viewers that are watching me. So I appreciate you guys listening to my BS, but yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna get an interest rate cut very soon. But hey, according to the probabilities, they are pricing in a 94% probability of a rate cut. And good enough for me, ladies and gentlemen. Go long. The market only goes long. Stonks only go long. Okay, very simple. Market only goes long. Stonks only go long. Let's quickly go over the IPO calendar to see if there's anything interesting over here. Gig Capital 8 Corp, that's got to be something about Bitcoin, but this is an acquisition corp. Anytime there's a U at the end and it's a 4-letter, there's a good chance that it's an acquisition corp, and that's exactly what this is. It's a reverse SPAC merger. And then another dead giveaway is this $10. It's a blank check company, and if you click on it, you'll see right away, where is it? Blank check company or a SPAC. I don't even need to read it. I just know. I've been in this game for too long, ladies and gentlemen. I just know things now, okay? That's a pretty good sized company over there, and there's another pretty decent sized company over here. So those are IPOing on the 9th of October. So make sure you tune in on the 8th of October, 4:30 p.m. because we're going to be finding out exactly what Alliance Laundry Holdings. Do I even need to search what this company does, chat? I think we know what this company does, and what PXED does before the day that they IPO. So tune in for that. We'll have some fun over there. Hopefully you found some trades for you to make some money tomorrow, some opportunities. OpenAI had their meeting today, their dev meeting. That was a pretty good meeting over there for those of you watching. Michael Anthony just now mentioned Grab. Yeah, Grab doesn't look too bad. Grab actually looks very good. You should have actually bought Grab somewhere here, if you ask me, at $5. But now that it's holding above one of my key levels that I have mapped out, and also the moving averages, Grab doesn't look too bad either. If you are interested to trade Grab, that's for sure a worthy name to keep an eye on. I might actually throw this name on the watch list too, to keep an eye out. Okay. What sector does Grab go under? Ride sharing? Right, I guess it goes under ride sharing and delivery. They are the Singapore Uber, if I remember correctly. So they are in the ride sharing, right? In the same like Lyft. Yeah, okay, that's what I have it as. Ride share, Lyft, and delivery. Okay, yeah, I'll throw it in my watch list. I don't know why I never did, even though I've always talked about it, but I'll throw it in my watch list. Besides that, chat, I don't really have anything to talk about. Let's see if you guys have anything that you want me to see. I was going to ask you about BMNR. Yes, I do like BMNR quite a bit. Almost forgot about that. That name looks very juicy. And we've seen that stock go insane last time, right? We've seen that stock go insane last time. Someone about AMD. Do you think AMD will sell off? That looks overbought. If it holds 200, I don't think so. If it doesn't hold 200, I think there's a very good chance it sells off. So you want to make sure for that. Do I still have an echo? Make sure that I don't have an echo. Pretty sure I muted all other streams for us. Nothing on Kick. Oh, we got a message on Twitch, but yeah, this is just a spam chatter, and more spam chatters on Pump Fun. Where is my pump fund coin now? My pump fund coin is trading at 6.3k value. Guys, buy my pump coin. I promise you I won't rug you, okay? I will not rug you. But if this coin becomes popular enough, there are chances that some snipers come in and then... Oh, I didn't mean to close that. There are chances that some snipers come in and then try to rug you. So you always want to be careful. Aw, man. The stream closed on here now. Oh, there you go. Stream back. Stream back. We're good. We're good. Doesn't matter though. Anyways, because we're done streaming for the day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. It's been a good week away from you guys. A good week away from stock market, but I missed it. And not only did I miss the market, I missed a lot of money, man. I missed a lot of money. There were some good trade setups out there that I basically passed up on. Could have been, 30-40% on at least 3-4 positions, which would have been nice. Which would have been added, good chunk change could have been added to my pocket. But look, market's always there tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing about it. The market doesn't end. You will end before the market will end. That is the sad truth about it. All right, people. So market's always there the next day. Apply your management, apply your risk rules, make sure you're sticking to your setups. Don't go forcing trades. Why? Because the market's there tomorrow. You don't need to force anything. There's always another day. There won't be another day if you blow up and lose all your money. So that is rule number 1. Don't blow up, protect the gains, and then use the gains to make more gains. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 4:30, same time, same place. Also, there might be a lot of new news coming out from me in the future, so stay tuned for that. All right, peace.